In this video, I'm going to be going over the rarest creatures in Ark Survival Ascended. I did this video pretty recently, but since Scorched Earth came out, I wanted to update it because there's a couple rare creatures on the map that I think are definitely worth including in the video, so let's get into it. At number 10, I have the Ovis. This one is a really small creature and it's really hard to spot, and it like rarely spawns. It spawns in the Arctic area and on other parts of the island. It spawns on Scorched Earth as well. The thing is, this thing also will get killed off pretty much instantly as soon as it spawns in because everything is aggressive towards it. But of course they are super useful because they give mutton, which is like the best meat in the game for taming stuff, which is why they're so rare and hard to find. But yeah, they're going to be at number 10. At number 9 is the Titanosaur. I don't consider this one to be extremely rare because even though only 3 of them do spawn on the map, they are absolutely massive and you always see them. And there's usually always 3 of them on the map. It's not like other creatures where they just don't spawn and have a low percentage. Like this one, there's always 3 of them on the map. So I know some people consider them rare in some of these videos, so I thought I would include it, but I'm just going to have it at number 9 because I don't think it's the rarest creature and I'd have a lot more trouble finding all of the creatures above on this list. At number 8, I have the Giga. I always have a extremely hard time spawning these. For some reason, I don't know if it's just me, but every time I go out to find one, they're never spawning, and I find them to be extremely rare. The only time I do find them is there's pretty much like a guaranteed spawn in the volcano, but that is about it. Other than that, you can't find these things around like pretty much anywhere on the map, so I do consider them to be pretty rare. And at number 7 is going to be the Charonosaurus. This one has the same spawns as the Giga and the same reason, so honestly they could be swapped in places. They pretty much have a guaranteed spawn in the volcano, but other than that, it's in between the 2 of them which one you'll actually find there. And on the other mountains and stuff, they're extremely rare to actually spawn, and it's kind of annoying to try and find them there. Number 6 is the Megalosaurus. This one only spawns in a few certain caves, and in the caves it does spawn, I never see them. I don't know if I've actually ever seen one of these things in a cave, at least on the island and stuff, and I've been playing this game for like 7 years now. So they are definitely pretty rare. I know I don't really see them that often, and they just don't really spawn that very commonly in general. I know once Aberration comes out, they'll be pretty much super common because they spawn all over the blue area on that map, but Aberration isn't out, and these guys are still super rare. At number 5, I have the Alpha Tuso. The regular Tuso is already quite a rare and hard to find creature. Could have even maybe made the list, but probably not. It's not really that rare. But the Alpha Tuso is definitely rare because out of all those spawns, this one has an extremely low chance of spawning, and usually I can only find like 1 in the area on the map. And of course, they're pretty useful too. You get a bunch of black pearls when you kill them, but I do find them really hard to find. But at number 4, I have the Alpha Deathworm. This one you can find in Scorched Earth, obviously, and they are really hard to find. Of course, now you can't use the orbit camera trick to find deathworms, which definitely makes finding deathworms harder, but now it makes these guys even harder because they were already super rare to begin with, and trying to find one without being able to see underground, you just basically have to go around like aimlessly until you eventually run into one on the entire map. And of course, the dune area is huge, so there's all kinds of places the thing can spawn in, and you don't know where it's going to be. At number 3, we have the Unicorn. This one's rare because only 1 can spawn on the entire map, and they're not the easiest thing to spot either. They're really quite small. It's literally just an Equus, but with a horn on it, and it's all white. It has basically like the same colors every time you find one. They do have a little bit different spawns than the like regular Equus though, because I found one on Carno Island, which of course Equus normally don't spawn on Carno Island, and neither does any other herbivore, but you can actually find unicorns there, which is quite interesting. But they are definitely pretty rare because there's only 1 on the entire map. But at number 2, I have the Leoplon. This one is not like only 1 rare spawn, but it is extremely rare. And once you tame it, you only get it for 30 minutes and then it disappears. But of course, I never see this. I've only seen 1 in my entire time of playing Ark. And like I said, I've been playing for 7 years and I've only seen 1 of these things spawn in. So it's kind of crazy how rare these things actually are. Of course, you can find them across the entire ocean biome, but they don't really spawn ever, so. But if you do manage to get them, they give you a bonus on loot crates, so that's kind of nice when you tame one. But like I said, they disappear in 30 minutes anyway. At number 1, I have the Phoenix, and just like the Leoplon, I've only seen 1 of these in my entire time playing Ark. They only spawn during heat waves, which already makes it extremely rare because, of course, heat waves are just a storm that happens for like 10 minutes and then it goes away and then you don't get a heat wave for quite a while. I mean, the storms are way more frequent in Ark Ascended, but I'm sure they might tone it down a little bit. But of course, yeah, they only spawn during heat waves, and then once the heat wave is over, they're just in an ash pile and extremely hard to find. Of course, they don't really spawn that much anyway, despite just being in the heat waves. And I also wanted to throw in a little bonus here, the purple Phoenix. Of course, there's a bunch of different colors of Phoenix you can get now, and pretty much any color that's not the base orange is more rare because they just don't spawn as much. Like the other colors are way harder to find, so considering you already have to find a really rare creature, the Phoenix, and then it's even harder to find these other colors, like the purple one. This definitely makes it extremely rare. And I would say the purple Phoenix or blue Phoenix or whatever is probably one of the rarest creatures in the entire game. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye.